Okay, now we go to chapter 16, the birth of Ishmael. For those who... I'm just talking to myself, so... Anyway, the birth of Ishmael. But Sarah, Abram's wife, had no children. So Sarah took her servant, an Egyptian woman, named Hagar, and gave her to Abram so she could bear his children. The Lord has kept me from having any children, Sarah said to Abram, or Sarai said to Abram. Go to sleep with my servant. Perhaps I can have children through her. And Abram agreed. Here, sleep with my servant, and get her pregnant. Okay, baby. Here, sleep with my sister. Think. Anyway, go and sleep with my servant. Perhaps I can have children through her. And Abram agreed. Good idea, baby. So Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, the Egyptian servant, and gave her to Abram as a wife. And who giveth Hagar to? I give her. I give her to my husband. Do your thing. Okay. This happened 10 years after Abram first arrived in the land of Canaan. 10 years. 10 years after he got to Canaan. I don't know why they put that there. 10 years after he got to Canaan. Canaan. Canaan was where they were headed, but never got there. They were in Haran with his dad, and then he finally got to Canaan in chapter 12. Oh, well, anyway. Um, Considering the servant was an Egyptian woman, I wonder if that was one of the gifts the king or Pharaoh gave them while they were there. I'm sure she'd been visible to Abram for a while, like when Sarah was with the Pharaoh. Anyway. Okay, so Abram slept with Hagar, and she became pregnant. When Hagar knew she was pregnant, she began to treat her mistress Sarai with contempt. Wow. Then Sarai said to Abram, "It's all your fault. Now this servant of mine is pregnant, and she despises me, though I myself gave her the privilege of sleeping with you. The Lord will make you pay for doing this to me." And the words are going through my head just like a woman. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to do no stereotypes or nothing like that, but it is not foreign for a woman to behave in this manner, as apparently they have been doing it for many years. You tell your husband, you come up and concoct in your head, go sleep with my servant and I have children through her, because you're thinking about yourself. I want children. I can't have children, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have you sleep with my servant. No, it ain't his servant, my servant. And I can have children through her. I'ma just use her as a tool. So now she gets pregnant, and she looking at you like, what you doing? He can't do nothing with you. Should you see what we got going on? I mean, nah, I ain't saying that's right, but she a woman. Ooh, I know y'all ain't liking this right now, but it's all right. It's all right. It is what it is. One woman comes up with an idea, the other woman behaves unseemingly, and the other woman whose whole idea it was, what can I do? Blame the man and God gonna get you for it. Ain't enough to blame you, but then to tell you what God gonna do about it. Oh Lord Jesus. Yeah, 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 yeah. Not only is it all your fault, verse 5, it's all your fault. I ain't have no part in this. This is all ALL, like the detergent, your fault. Now this servant of mine is pregnant and she despises me, though I myself gave her the privilege of sleeping with you. She take credit for giving her the privilege of sleeping with you, but ain't taking credit for the bad situation. Okay. The Lord will make you pay for doing this to me. Again, all about me. I, me, and my. This is where it started for sure. Abram replied, since she is your servant, you may deal with her as you see fit. You know what? This is your servant. Handle it. Oh, gosh. So Sarai treated her harshly, and Hagar ran away. So she was like, fine, I'm going to show this love. Rub my feet. Clean between my toes. Now go lick the floor over there. No. So Hagar ran away. The angel of the Lord found Hagar beside a desert spring along the road to Shur. The angel said to her, Hagar, Sarah's servant, where have you come from and where are you going? Good question. Okay, so where have you come from and where are you going? Where are you coming from? Where are you going? Cotton Eye Joe. Okay. Anyway, I'm running away from my mistress, she replied. Then the angel of the Lord said, return to your mistress and submit to her authority. Is this the first time we see an angel? I could be wrong. Well, other than Genesis and the angel twirling the sword or whatever, but I could be mistaken, but this may be the first time the angel of the Lord appeared and said something. Because the Lord spoke to Noah, when the Lord spoke to Abram, God was talking to everybody else. It's the first time he chose to use an angel. Wasn't it because she was Egyptian? She wasn't part of the covenant. She wasn't Hebrew. She wasn't repping Hebrew. So now we need a go-in-between person. You can't talk to me. Here, send an angel. Angel, go talk to the dog. I was joking with that. But, on the real, New Testament, we're calling people dogs. I'm just saying. Anyway, so, I'm running away from my mistress. She replied, verse 9. Then the angel of the Lord said, return to your mistress and submit to her authority. Take note. Return to your mistress, the one that's treating you bad, and submit to her authority. So go back and take it. Now, if you want to, they got a little synopsis here, a little whatever. But obviously, Hagar had an attitude of, was treating Sarah with contempt. So Sarah got her feelings hurt. So when Sarah got word from Abram to treat her like however you want to treat her, then Sarah started treating her bad. She couldn't take it, run off. So honestly, if you think about it, Hagar started it, or Hagar, whatever. She started it. Sarah spit back at her. She couldn't take it. Oh, she went crying. Now she got to go back and submit. Know your role. Play your position. You the servant. as the ruler. You ain't had no business throwing attitude in the first place. Just cause she let you sleep and become the wife to her man, husband, uh, didn't give you, didn't you thought you got raised up. No, 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 no. You still here. They just gave you a few more privileges. It's something right there. Something right there. You see, yeah, you got some privileges now. You can enter into the club. You can play sports. You can be on with the TV show here, but you're still. Woo! You can drive a nice car. You can even live next door, but you're still. Woo! Uh huh. Mm-hmm. You want to marry my daughter, but you're still. And the angel said, and the angel also said, okay, wait. Going back, verse 9. Then the angel of the Lord said, return to your mistress and submit to her authority. The angel added, I will give you more descendants than you can count. Okay, here we go again. And the angel also said, you are now pregnant and will give birth to a son. You are to name him Ishmael, which apparently means God hears. Wow. For the Lord has heard about your misery. This son of yours will be a wild one, free and untamed as a wild donkey. Gonna be a wild ass. Okay, he will be against everyone, and everyone will be against him. Wow, what a blessing. Uh, yes, he will live at odds with the rest of his brothers. Is that a blessing or a curse? God hears you, hears about your trouble. So since you won't shut up, let me curse you. Because it ain't no blessing. Like, I hear you. I hear you going through some things. Here, let me bless you. No, no, that's not what happened. I hear you. I hear you. Uh-huh. Look, shut up. You got a child coming. I'll give you a curse. Anyway, because who want a whole bunch of descendants if they all going to be fighting? I'm going to give you more descendants than you can count. They're going to be fighting forever. That's a curse. Anyway, thereafter Hagar referred to the Lord who had spoken to her as the God who sees me. Well, see, she already confused. That's the problem. He said he heard you. He ain't said he saw you. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Okay. For she said, I have seen the one who sees me. Well, she ain't seen nobody. She confused and crazy. She was out there in the desert and lost her mind. I have seen the one who sees me. She ain't seen nothing. Later that well, later that well was named. Okay, y'all going all the way back to the well. Okay, the well was mentioned. It wasn't even called a well. Going all the way back to verse 7. The angel of the Lord found Hagar beside a desert spring alongside the road to shore. They call it a desert spring, and now they go say later that well was named Bir Laharai. They didn't even say it was a well. It was a desert spring. Now it's a well. And it got a name. So now they didn't name the well. And it can still be found between Kadesh and Bered. That's nice. Bir Laharai means well of the living one who sees me. He said he heard you. He ain't say nothing about seeing you. Anyway, so Hagar gave Abram a son, and Abram named him Ishmael. Well, actually, the Lord named him Ishmael. Uh, so whatever. And if the Lord told her to name him, and so when they coming up with a name, she told him, "The Lord told me," and that's what you named him. So he ain't named the baby Jack. Anyway, named him Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old at that time. 86. Got his first one. Okay. God's covenant with Abram. Chapter 17. Okay, so that's 16. Next.